Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your host with the most, as always, Francois878, and today I'm bringing you another Let's Play Warframe. Today I will be detailing part of update 15.12, that being the changes to the Bone Daddy, the Grim Reaper of Warframe, Nekros. Now, Nekros, in the past, for me, and for, I believe, the majority of players, dare I say, has been very, he's one button, and that's it. He desecrates, you know, gets the extra resources, the extra mods, you know, the extra air on survivals, you know, whatever you're going for, you know, he desecrates it. That's all he's really there for. And, well, that's helpful, and, you know, there isn't another Warframe that has a similar ability, so he's very useful. That basically, he's very boring to play. You know, I have that same problem with a lot of other, you know, one-trick pony Warframes. And these buffs were aimed to make him a little bit more usable and to kind of, you know, vary the abilities that you use in combat. Now, for the abilities, his first ability is Soul Punch. It's just a directed knockback, single target attack. It's not great. I just tend to stay away from single target attacks like this. The only real good aspect about this ability is when you augment it. With the ability augment round, you can revive allies from a distance, though you're also sacrificing your own health and energy to do so. Still useful, but you have to be careful with it. Now, the only change Soul Punch got is you can actually now cast it from any direction or orientation. So he doesn't have to orientate himself towards the target in order to use it. I mean, not a big change. I'm sure that it'll be helpful. I didn't use Soul Punch enough to really notice a difference, honestly. So, who knows? I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, yes! But, But the next two abilities are really where the buffs came in really hard. The Terrify ability, his second ability, is just basically an AoE fear proc. Makes all the enemies in the range just turn around and boogie out, which can be very helpful if you're being overwhelmed. Now, Terrify's casting time is reduced. Terrify now affects a greater number of targets, from 12 targets to 20 targets, which is insane. And one of the things that really pissed me off the most about it is that you couldn't recast it before. You cast it once, all of the affected enemies have to die, and then you can recast it again. Now, Terrify can be recast as many times as you like, plus it will prioritize unaffected targets, which means if there's, you know, if you hit it and you affect 20 people, and then 10 more people run into the, you know, run into your range and you hit it again, it's going to affect the 10 unaffected first, which is awesome. Really just a really good buff for it. Also, the range has been slightly reduced by about 25%, from 20 meters to 15 meters, which isn't really that big a deal because I run lots of range on Nekros anyways for Desecrate, so I will, you know, that's not a big deal. That's easily something that you can compensate for. Now, his last ability, Shadows of the Dead, that's just, this ability is where basically any enemies you've killed in the last, you know, 30 seconds to a minute, basically are revived and do damage for you and fight the enemy for you. You get a bunch of little undead minions, basically, which is a really cool, unique ability. It just got a flat-out buff. Summons now have 2.5%, 250% health, plus 200% damage, and now players can walk through the shadows, which I imagine is just a convenience thing. That makes the Shadow of the Dead much more usable and much more fun to use and really worth investing the time. And yeah, it's just a real fun ability that I personally really enjoy. And Nekros now that this buff, he's just all around. You'll have more fun with him, which is what DE wants. They want you to have more fun in their game. And so now he is still a one-trick pony. I'm sure people are still going to main Desecrate. I'm sure their builds will focus around Desecrate. However, now at least you can have a little bit more fun and mix things up a little bit and not be a waste of your time. But that is going to wrap up this episode of Let's Play Warframe. These are the Nekros changes that we've seen. The next episode will detail the other big change, the new Syndicate Syndanas that have been introduced into the game. I have a whole video planned for that, so we'll save that for another day. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Now get out there and go start summoning your undead minions and having fun with Nekros. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.